Good afternoon, Denver, Colorado. Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez. The final word is back in town. And man, what a Sunday we have in store for you today. Sunday, April 13th. And Alex, you know what, man? The sports stories are on fire here in Colorado. We have the Denver Nuggets. We have the Colorado Spartans. We have the Denver Broncos draft. And then we might have a chance to talk about the Colorado Rockies. Gabe Landeskog's return, historic return for that matter. Playoff runs coming up. The Nuggets today can finish anywhere from the 3 seed to the play-in tournament.
But will Houston play their guys because they've locked up the 2nd seed, Joe?
That'll be yet to be determined. I don't really think that it's about what Houston does. I think it's about what the Denver Nuggets do. I think that they're at that playoff moment, and I think anybody will tell you in sports, you never worry about who's against you. It's all about you and what level of play you want to put out there. And of course, we got to see that last night from our good friends and our partners, the Colorado Spartans, who opened up their professional football season here in Denver, Colorado.
After 17 years, not after removing
an absence of 17 years, no arena football here in Colorado, in Denver. And now the Spartans have returned to fill that void. And boy, did they fill it last night. A 69-18 victory over the Las Vegas Kings. Of course, you're truly, along with my man behind the glass, Nick Arch. By the way, good morning, Nick. How you doing, baby?
I'm awake.
Yeah, I got it. Me and you were up there pretty late
last
night.
Nick was part of the broadcast team last night on the NAL network with Joe
NAL
Rico.
YouTube network,
and
right?
It was awesome. It was
and of
great.
course, you did the in-arena.
I did a little bit of arena action last night, and I thought it was fun. The fans came out, and it was great. More importantly, I think it was for the kids. The kids last night, it brings me back to my days, Joey, when I used to go watch the Denver Dynamite. This is how old I am.
Sure.
At the Denver Coliseum.
I remember them.
And I remember taking my best friend at that time. We were going to the game. My dad would drop us off right there on Federal and 23rd.
Yeah.
And we just walk down
the street.
And we'd check out these games. But then after that, the Colorado Crush came with Josh Kroenke and John Elway.
Well, it was a little more sophisticated. I think that was a higher level than the Denver Dynamite because they won championships, and the AFL is still the highest league of arena football. I mean, let's not get it twisted. I think the NAL is gaining on them. But getting back to the game, I think that we developed some new stars last night. I think that the receiving tandem of Stephen Newbold Jr. and Dent Jr., we called him the kind of like the junior mints. I mean, these guys were just all over the field. And on defense, my goodness, man, I still think Byron Cooper is probably tackling somebody right now this morning. He's unblockable. I mean, really, I don't say that lightly.
0. That's number 0.
No,
right?
no. That was number 7. Number 0, we'll talk to him. He's another guy that had a big game. But Byron Cooper was all over the field. I mean, legitimately. And the defensive secondary, and I don't know if many of you realize the pressure on Coach Fred Saw, who changed defensive coordinators with only a week before the game to go and basically implemented an entire new defensive game plan. What a genius idea.
That's not
Coach
easy,
Shaw. No, it's not, because he had to scrap what wasn't working and put in a whole new system that was. Now, I know he didn't do it alone, and we'll hear more from Coach Shaw.
Coach
with
Payne
us,
is
1225.
his assistant coach, and I got a chance to meet him last night, Joey, down on the field.
Yeah.
And the confidence last night at the Coliseum when I was walking in and out of the locker rooms with the Spartans, and Coach Shaw's confidence was overwhelming. And I want to just say big shout out to Tony Thompson and the administration for the Colorado Spartans, head coach Fred Shaw, how everything came together. The team dancers, all the promotions that we did at halftime.
Hey, DJ Sin, I thought she did real well. You did a great job. I mean, and I want to say this. There's always something special about the first time for anything, and it was the first time that the Spartans were going to play a game in Denver. And I just want to thank all those people, and especially all the wonderful sponsors of the Spartans who showed up and showed out, including our great friend Bill Foss from Suavecito Tequila. That man is just becoming legendary, not only with us, but even with the Spartans organization. You did a great interview with him at halftime of the game. Well, it was during the game, excuse me.
It was during the game.
Really enjoyed getting to hear Bill, and I'm super excited. We're super excited to hear from Coach Fred Shaw. Speaking of Bill Foss, he'll be on right after Coach Shaw. He was out at the game with us. He'll give us his impressions on the Colorado Spartans. Also, how much fun he had in the Suavecito zone. I wanted to get out of the broadcast booth, man, and go down there and hang out because it looked like just a blast. We'll get that information from him. And then Alex, of course, our great friend Anthony Maher will join us around 1 o'clock to wrap up the show. We are counting you down. Rockets, Nuggets. Can the Denver Nuggets take down Houston? And it may be Houston light, but regardless, it's a must win. The Nuggets with the loss could end up as deep as the 7th seed, which means play-in tournament.
No. They've eliminated that. We're good on that.
4, 5, 6, or 7.
It's done. It's already done, Joey. At this point, the Denver Nuggets have pretty much solidified the 4th spot, and it looks like it's going to be the Clippers. Nothing's going to change after.
Well, that's with
game.
a victory. It's guaranteed. With a loss, anything could happen still, man. I mean, there's so many tiebreakers involved. With all due respect, there's 6 or 7 different very difficult tiebreakers. Nobody knows anything. The Nuggets can finish 4 through 7 if they lose. If they win, they are guaranteed the 4 spot. You are absolutely right, and they will play
Nuggets
the LA
and
Clippers.
The Clippers are 49 and 32 each. So right now at this point.
Right. So if the Nuggets lose and the Clippers win, the Clippers move ahead. Golden State is at 33 losses.
So would
that
make a big change playing the Clippers or the Warriors?
Man, listen to me. It's not going to be that way because it would either be if the Nuggets drop to 7, they have a playing game with the number 8
No, the
seed.
playing game's done.
It's not true, Alex.
Joe,
it's not true.
Listen, I was watching everything, and it's confirmed. The Nuggets, all they have to do is just pretty much finish out the game today. The Clippers will be the Nuggets' first round playoff event.
Not if the Nuggets lose. That is only if the Nuggets win. Look, man, it's very basic math.
Golden
It's
State
very
Warriors
basic
will be
math.
right behind you. Yeah, I'm looking at it, Joe.
It's not just the Golden State Warriors, man. Just so you know, the Minnesota Timberwolves are only a game behind. The Timberwolves hold the tiebreaker over the Nuggets. The Warriors, if the Nuggets lose and Warriors win, they hold the tiebreaker. And the Clippers with the win would obviously move past the Nuggets, putting the Nuggets in the 7th seed and squarely in the playoff tournament. And look, nobody wants this. They pay me to know this stuff, Alex. They pay me to know this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And Nick, I'll bring in Nick Arch at this point. Hey, Nick, I mean, nobody wants to see the Nuggets in the playoff or in the play-in tournament. Could you ever have imagined at the beginning of the year we would even be speaking about the potential of a play-in tournament for this basketball team? I didn't. And that Mike Malone would be fired?
No, I mean, the trade deadline, I would have probably told you something different by that point. But at the beginning of the season, no, you're expecting – the Nuggets have the expectations now that they're perennial winners, perennial playoff teams. And, like I said, if you'd have come to me at the trade deadline, I would have given you a different opinion at that point.
Well, you got the best player in the world. It's championship or bust.
Let me ask you guys this, because I know there's going to be an extensive search for the new head coach for the Denver Nuggets. If David Edelman were to take the Denver Nuggets, let's just say to the Western Conference Finals, with this squad, is he up for consideration as a potential head coach?
Yes, he's already up for consideration.
If he gets bounced in the first round,
no.
Done, right?
No. I mean, again,
they'll still give him a shot.
They'll give him an interview, sure, but he definitely doesn't have the same clout. Winning cures everything. Winning is how all new coaches get started. Every interim coach, I mean, I look at Pat Riley taking over for Paul Westhead. Pat Riley wouldn't have the legacy he did if he wouldn't have won the championship his first year. Winning cures a lot, and I think that the number one thing is I don't think the Nuggets will win the championship or go to the Western Conference Finals. I think they're much more likely to get bounced. I think
Joker said they woke up a beast. Man.
Well, I mean, Joker's going to say that because he is a beast, but you need 5 beasts in the NBA. You can't play 1-on-5 in the NBA.
And we don't know Jamal Murray's injury.
I can tell you the recent history of Jamal Murray in the last year and a half is not good. It's very inconsistent. He's injury prone. He's a guy that can rise, but let me tell you about things once you turn 30. And Jamal's 28, so I don't think that this is too far away. That potential that everyone talks about is great till around 25. And then you need to show up. You need to have done it by then. And if you haven't, you start sliding in downhill trajectory within the inner circles. Depending how far you started from, you're falling. And he's falling right now. It's obvious to see. Now, can he rise up? That's what athletes do. That's why I never give up on anybody. And I won't give up on Jamal because you don't know what burns inside of a man until he's challenged.
I get it, Joe.
So this is a big test for the Nuggets tonight.
Let me ask you, Nick and Joey, when the news came down that Mike Malone was released of his duties and Calvin Booth was gone, were you guys shocked? Were you guys upset? Were you disappointed? I'm going to tell you what I thought. I thought that the Nuggets, in a lot of ways, did him dirty. You know, it's like you're a coach. Say you're married for 10 years, which basically he was a coach for Joker's first 10 years. And you break up in a relationship by a text message.
Yeah.
There's
a problem with
that's
this.
unacceptable.
That's the problem. There's a problem with this, okay?
That's
Because
not right.
Wait.
Like
it's
that.
not the same. It's not even close. A relationship doesn't include the general manager. My marriage doesn't include a general manager.
I'm just talking about the coach.
Okay,
Joe.
but I'm telling you, who did him dirty? No one did Mike Malone dirty. He couldn't get along with his general manager. You're a professional.
You would not allow him to finish the last three games?
No, not if I'm the owner. If you're gone, you're gone. And if you're gone today, you're gone tomorrow. I'm sorry. No. The answer is he's trying to wake up his team. He's trying to shock his
head
team.
Coach in Denver
Doesn't matter.
Nuggets history.
Doesn't matter. He couldn't get along with his boss. And anytime you can't get along with your boss, and it's the same with the Colorado Spartans. I don't care if Fred Shaw's 9-1. If he can't get along with Tony Thompson, he's gone. That is the way life works. If I can't get along with you and Nate Lundy, I'm gone. If you don't understand that in life, if you think you're the most important man in the room every time you walk somewhere, you're gone. You will be alienated and outcast. Everyone needs people in life. If you think you're the only one who doesn't need somebody, you're wrong. Coach Malone got too comfortable. He started pushing weights around that he didn't need to push around, and he lost the support of the best player on his team. You guarantee you Nikola Jokic had something to do with this.
One of the things
I'll bet you money he did.
Joe, one of the things that kind of put a nail in the coffin for Coach Mike Malone. A few weeks back, he was talking about, well, the players don't even watch film.
Yep.
They don't even watch what they're doing. We had to bring it to them. These guys are millionaire players. Even if you're the 12th guy on the bench, you're still making a couple $1 million.
Yep.
I'm sorry. And if your message can't communicate to them and say, you know what, can I get you guys in to get some video work, talk about what we're doing, and we have to bring it to you. And they're not running the show anymore. The asylum is running the gym at that point. Then that message becomes failed. All right. And I was really surprised. And you, Joey, how many times have you asked Coach Mike Malone a question in press conferences? I've recorded you at least 200 times.
Yeah, at least 200
I've been down there with you, Joey, and we've talked to Coach Mike Malone. Always a stand-up guy.
Let me just say this about any coach, okay? You're judged on two things: winning and your relationship with the organization. Winning is first. If you don't win, you're gone. And I don't care if you're the nicest man in the world. If you're 0-20, you're gone. But secondary to that is the relationship with the organization. When a coach, whether that's Phil Jackson, whether it's Mike Malone, whether it's Fred Shaw, puts himself above the organization, then he's gone. Because the power structure, the owner, you think the coach has an ego. You don't remember how these owners are.
I don't think
Josh Kroenke, Stan Kroenke, these are billionaires.
Yeah.
They have egos that cannot fit inside this room. And if you try to show them up and become leaders of their organization, they will get rid of you. And that's what happened with Mike Malone.
What happened in this situation, and I'm starting to understand after 13 years in this business, Joey, doing this with you, going to the games and understanding the dynamics of and the fluencies of the coaching system. If you don't have a general manager and a coach that are on the same page, and you guys are constantly bickering at each other,
it's not going to end good.
It's not going to end well. And if you don't put dubs up, I think what really killed them too, and let's just go back a little bit, that double overtime loss the Nuggets had when Joker had 61 points on a triple-double, and they lost for the sixth time in a row to the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's what broke the Nuggets, and I think that's when Stan and Josh Kroenke said, you know what, we got to make changes. And when Josh Kroenke said, with Vic Lombardi on the interview on Altitude Sports, and said, you know what, this decision was going to be made regardless if it happened now or in the after season, but we wanted to get some juice involved in what we could spring back, we could get out of whatever we have left in this team. So far, they're 2-0. Yes, they weren't the best 2 wins. There were wins, though. There are victories. We will find out soon. And I think today's game against Houston, yeah, you're right. It could influence a game or two. I think from what I'm seeing, Joe, I'm just looking at the standings, and I'm not a capologist or an analyst or an analytic guy, but I think it looks like the Clippers. So,
well, it's the Clippers for today. Again, it's impossible to dictate what's going to happen with all the dynamics until the very end. And the NBA loves that because every one of these games is going to have tremendous ratings because nobody knows who's actually going to be in the playoffs. This is what the league was designed for and why they have 8 playoff spots. And they put the play-in tournament, which I have to give Adam Silver a lot of credit for. I love the play-in tournament. I think if you're a 9 or a 10 seed, there was no reason to watch basketball. Now you're watching because you can legitimately. I mean, you look at the Chicago Bulls 2 years ago as a 10 seed. They not only won the play-in tournament, they gave their first round opponent, they won 2 games in the first round. You know, I mean, if I'm a 10 seed, before I'm just playing golf right now. Now I'm also having time to develop new players. The one thing people don't understand about the postseason is it's not just about winning the championship. It is a time to test your players and your young kids at the highest level of pressure to see whether they can really play in this game. And I think whether you're the Spartans or whether you're a team like the Denver Nuggets, you really see what people are made of when the money's on the line. And that is what I think we're going to see tonight and today. You know, we know Nikola Jokic is going to show up. Who else is going to show up for the Denver Nuggets? And that's what I think the problem is. There's my disconnect with the team is I don't know that anybody there is really going to show up. I can't bet on Jamal Murray anymore. I can't bet on Michael Porter Jr. The second closest guy is Aaron Gordon, and unfortunately, Aaron has been nursing an injury all year. He's doing a great job of hiding it, but he's not 100%. I'm going to tell you, I don't like the Nuggets' chances this year. I really don't, man.
So, again, last one. We'll put a bow on this topic with the Denver Nuggets today. Listen, my last thing is this. The Denver Nuggets were 2 years removed from a championship in 2023. And if you saw a stat earlier in the week, 5 of the last, I think, 8 coaches that have won NBA championships
have been fired.
Are been gone. They're gone. So this is a really dirty business as far as like, yeah, you know what? You won. Now you suck and you lose. Listen, at the end of the day, the Denver Nuggets are in a good spot because they have the number 1 player in the world with Nikola. And I believe strong-heartedly that with Nikola, now he said it, and he doesn't talk a lot, but when he says something, it means something. He said, you awoke a beast in us. Now we're ready to go. And if you looked at the next game with David Edelman, Joe, he's on the court. He has a clipboard. He's drawing up plays. So this could be a good thing for the Denver Nuggets.
Well, listen, I agree with what you're saying, but there's no way that anybody can tell because, again, it's up to the players. It's up to these guys in the locker room to decide. Nikola Jokic, again, is the outlier here.
The only individual on this team, Joey, that's not touchable is Nikola.
Right. What I'm saying,
everybody else, you're on notice.
We're saying
you
the
are
same
on
thing.
notice.
Alex, we're saying the same thing. The team is too inconsistent right now around him. I'll tell you what, and we'll get to this coming up with Coach Fred Shaw here in a few minutes. Consistency is the number 1 definition of greatness. Yeah, everybody is good once in a while. We can all show flashes of greatness, but the consistent players, the guys who do it night in, night out, rep after rep, those are the ones we talk about as the greatest players of all time. We only have one of those, and his name is Nikola Jokic. We have a bunch of gym rats, a bunch of rec center players, and then a couple guys who think their contracts indicate they're superstars, but they are not playing like superstars unless Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray start playing up to the level of their contract. This team's going nowhere.
Last one for me, Joey. I've been reading. There's going to be a lot more information coming out.
Oh yeah,
as we
a lot of dirt.
This, supposedly, Malone said, "Hey, KPC, we could have got him. We could have re-signed him. All right, Bruce Brown, another guy Malone wanted, and Calvin Booth was like, nope, we're going to guarantee these rookie contract deals." And when you start having that kind of like disconnect and saying, you know what, my philosophy, and at the end of the day, here's the other thing too. And I'm going to reiterate what Vic Lombardi said. Calvin Booth his contract had already expired. So they didn't really have to do nothing to him. He could have just stayed on the team, went to the building, sat in his office and said, you know what, let's see how far this goes. All right. And they did not allow that to happen. They wanted him gone. All right. They wanted him gone. And I just have a sick feeling in my stomach that Mike Malone was done dirty. He's the all-time winningest coach. And whoever he gets a head coaching job with next, that team that he comes in with at Ball Arena, we better give Mike Malone his flowers every single time he comes in because his name should be on the rafters with that 2023 championship,
Okay.
as well as
We're
all
gonna
of
get
his
ready.
wins.
We're gonna get ready to go to break. I will
Joe,
say this:
can you elaborate on that?
he's the winningest franchise, the winningest coach in the history of the franchise, and the $55 million he's earned. I have no sympathy for Mike Malone. When coaches get in, they know every coach is hired to be fired. I hate to say it, but there is nobody who coaches. And the longer you stay a place, the more stale that message becomes. Look at Mike Shanahan, 14 years, 2 Super Bowl championships.
That's great. That's great.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, nobody was listening to him in 2008. That team was a joke.
Polo said he had a lifetime contract.
And he took that away because, again, one thing I'll say about coaches, it is the hardest profession in the world because they expect you to win. And it is true in what you did say, when you're winning, everything's great. The minute you start losing, there is no loyalty in this professional sports world, period. All right. And with that, we are going to bring up a guy, though, coming up next, who is red hot. He's a hot commodity, a hot property. He is the head coach of the Colorado Spartans, who just pounded the Las Vegas Kings 69-18 last night at the Denver Coliseum. We'll talk with Coach Fred Shaw when you return to the Final Word with Joe Rico and Alex Ramirez on the My Live Sports YouTube page.
My name is Anthony Maher, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents, and with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
This is madness! Spartans! What is your profession? This is blasphemy. This is madness! Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender. This is Sparta!
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for 3 main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000-foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave. Okay, only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave, and it's superior to lowlands agave. Number 2, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
Good. All right, we are back at the final word. Joe Rico and Alex Ramirez live from number 38. And of course, we now have the debut of the Coach Fred Shaw Show. It's our inaugural one, and it couldn't get any better. First of all, congratulations, Coach, on a great victory, 69-18 over the Las Vegas Kings. And, usually you have one or two guys that, at the production meeting, I'm like, man, I'm going to focus on. There were 9 or 10 big-time players out there yesterday. Talk a little bit about how excited you were to see what I think really was the first time you saw the real Spartans.
So we just put it all together. We put a full game together, offense, special teams, defense. That was the first full game we actually put together, and I was proud of the guys.
You are listening to Coach Fred Shaw, the Colorado Spartans head coach. This first show, and we'll have about 7 or 8 more of these every Sunday.
All the way through the championship
all the way
game.
through the championship to where
we'll be there too, I think.
We'll be there 69-18. The Colorado Spartans last night defeated the Las Vegas Kings at the Coliseum for the Coliseum's the Spartans home opener. Coach, I was there, and Joey was doing the broadcast with Nick, our board op, and I was on the field. Man, the energy last night was incredible. I think hats tip off to Tony Thompson for everybody that participated, all the sponsors, Jump Empire, the kick for $10,000. It was awesome all the way around. But one thing I mentioned to you before the show today, I said, man, you were still riding these guys after you guys were up by 50. Look, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any of these mistakes. I want more action. Coach, you were up by 50. What was your message at that point?
Just don't let up. We want to get to we have a goal set, and it's been in the playoffs and winning this whole thing. So if you let up when you have the lead, when you play in a team that you're dominating, it shows weakness. So when you play those good teams, like the Omaha Beef, the Sioux City, those guys, you'll be ready for it. You'll be prepared in the fourth quarter. And we don't want to just get beat on silly things. So we want to stay locked in. We want to play 4 quarters, and we want to finish the game.
Well, one thing I will say last night is the game was finished early. And what I liked about it is, like I said, some of these younger guys who weren't getting the playing time, when they see that field, that may be their only opportunity in 2 or 3 weeks to make an impression. And here's what I've learned about pro sports. Look, you may not stay on the Colorado Spartans, but you know what? Somebody's watching you. And just like you'll pick up guys where you'll see film, everybody wants that opportunity. That's your one time to shine. And that's how a lot of careers get started, right? You see something in garbage time. You maybe we're going to replace the guy in front of them anyway. And all of a sudden, somebody lights it up. That's the effort, right? It's the standard of being a Colorado Spartan, right?
Yeah, that's the goal. The goal is to get as many players outdoors as possible, So those guys that don't start for us on the team, those guys can play on any teams. They can be starters on any team right now. I just so happen to be blessed and to have these guys and they're athletes. They can go get it. And my goal is to get these guys outdoors. If you don't start or not, once you hit that field, just be ready. And that's what I preach to these guys every day. They stay ready. You don't have to get ready. And we're definitely doing a great job at that right now. And we're just going to continue to get better.
And there's a lot of stories behind arena football that people don't understand. Like, for example, Kurt Warner, he was a arena guy, right? And he paved his way through the marks, getting up to where he became a Super Bowl MVP.
He's a Hall of Famer.
The Rams, Hall of Famer now. So, and I correlated a little bit yesterday. I was talking to Andre Sale. He's a great kid, man.
Yeah,
great kid. Talked to him, and he was like,
family as well.
Great family.
Yeah, we saw all the sales. He threw the football to his family.
All the family
last
was
night.
out there last night, and I remember talking to him a few times because he was done by the third quarter. He had some ice on his knees, and I was like, "Hey, you doing, man? You feeling good? You going back in?" He's like, "Man, I've done enough." He's like, "I'm gonna let these guys take care of everything else." So when you get that kind of mentality of a player of his stature, played at LSU, he used to back up Joe Burrow at LSU. He still wants to get back into the action. He wants to get to the game. So how important is that for not only for a team like the Colorado Spartans that could groom players that are at a level that maybe they weren't good enough to get in the NFL, or maybe they were in the NFL, or they didn't get drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a bouncy ground in both ways. Either you get drafted or you don't get drafted, but you can still continue to play ball because you still have it. Man, there were some ballers last night. A lot of guys on your team I could see playing on the next level.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Starting with Sale, he's just a true professional.
Yeah.
And that's why I picked him up on my team, man. He leads on and off the field. So when you have guys like that in the locker room, we already had it planned that for the second half, if we went and by 4 touchdowns, that we're not going to play him. We're not going to play him. There's no point. And we want to get a good look at these other guys. And they came and they showed up and they showed out.
They did.
And I'm thankful for that. We just want to just continue to get better each week. And I believe we have the players to do just that.
Well, let's talk about players that I saw last night. Let's start with Craig Dent Jr. and Stephen Newbold Jr., 2 guys that are electric. And, you talk about guys who I definitely think could get to the next level. These guys took, chicken blank and made a chicken salad. I mean, literally, they turned something into nothing. And Dent, I mean, literally, he was uncoverable. He had a couple touchdowns that Sale missed him on, a couple of long balls that, one to the corner. He had his man beat by 4 yards in arena football. I mean, this is an NFL ball where you can get a 3. This dude, he put on a juke move so hard. He on that up and out on that slant and go. He sold it so well. The guy fell down and he's wide open. And of course, that's the one Andre just airmailed that a little bit. And then of course, I'm going to tell you, man, Stephen Newbold Jr., he played second fiddle last night, and he doesn't play second fiddle to anybody. I think that's an explosive tandem as there is in the NAL.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. It's about having playmakers all over the field, and we have those guys. Steve, Dent, those guys are playmakers. So if one of them's having a bad game, the other one picks them up. So we don't never have anyone slacking on the field. Like I said, Sale is a leader, so he's going to make sure everybody's on point when he breaks the huddle. And we just, we're just trying to get better each week. And I believe we're on the right mission.
I believe you're on the right mission. Last night, 69-18, Las Vegas. You guys take care of the Kings. Listen, it was an amazing game last night, performed by your tutelage in Tony Thompson's ownership group. Yes, we were all spread thin. I got there at 2:00 in the afternoon, just so you know. I was there for almost 10 hours, but I wanted to make sure that the cheerleaders are doing right. Everybody was in time and in sync. And I wanted to, and I guess it resonates with you, Coach. It starts from the top. It comes from ownership. Ownership, if they give you the tools, if you got the ingredients to make a gourmet meal, which you did last night, it represented what happened, Coach. So, again, I am so proud of you guys, Joey and I and Nick, the broadcast team. We are just ecstatic to understand that next week against the Idaho Horsemen and Colorado, again, it's at the Coliseum. But I don't want to go too far forward because I know let's observe and enjoy Sunday. Once Monday morning clocks in, what do you got to do with your team? What are you going to talk to them about? Because you were riding them the entire time. I thought you were losing for a minute. I was like, Coach, you're winning, man.
Yeah, we don't want them to score any.
Yeah.
We don't want them to score.
You said that after the first touchdown. I wanted to pitch a shutout. I'm like, you're crazy, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just got to hold them to a high level, and that's like I said, that's what I do with my players, man. And they love it. Sometimes they respond. We can't be perfect, always, but those guys give me the energy that I need, man. And I love them for that.
Well, let's start with the leader of the organization, Tony Thompson. It was a big night for him last night. He was out hugging people, kissing babies. You would think Tony was running for political office last night.
Right. And, Watson from
but I will say this, what a great representation, to lead your organization. Just a good, honest family man, hardworking man. And, I couldn't root for anybody more than I root for him. He took a chance on you. I think he definitely showed the passion. I mean, he was all over there and a big smile on his face. Yeah. Talk a little bit about how hard that Tony worked for that night last night, because I know everyone did. Let's not say that everyone did, but I mean, it starts at the top, and man, that guy put in countless hours to make this night last night happen.
You just gotta think about it. Most of these teams have at least 2 to 3 owners.
Yeah,
and he's out here by himself, getting stuff done. So that's why I always praise Tony. It's not an easy job. For him to come out and, just have everything organized like he do. And I appreciate that, man. Without him, none of this go.
Coach,
I agree.
Coach, he gave you the keys to the Ferrari and said, listen, you take care of this. I take care of the rest. And what you did last night is you took care of the business last night.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's important. And again, last night, it was a broadcast that we were deciding who the MVPs of the offense and defensive side. It could have gone many different ways. All right.
Yeah. So first of all, it's a funny story about that because the MVPs of the game, Nick and I do the MVPs of the game. Alex texts us, we need you to do the MVPs of the game. So we pick out Craig Dent Jr. and number 7, help me out, Byron Cooper. Okay, and Nick, check me if I'm wrong, but they were obviously the MVPs. Nick picked, or no, it was Stephen Newbold Jr. that Nick picked out for the offensive guy, and I picked Byron Cooper. So we get to hear the announcement, and it's Luis Ferreira, who had a great game. I want to argue, and then Sam Hammond
on extra
and
points.
no offense, because Sam is your best defensive lineman, but Sam was not last night. Sam was 3rd and 4th last night. I'll tell you what, man. I think what it really speaks to is the depth of great players, and you are blessed because I saw a few of the other teams. And man, I just think that those rematches later on in the year are going to be different. I think that these guys that you're starting to see the confidence in. And last thing, man, talk a little bit about that secondary, man, because 21, man, Hall, man, that guy is just a game breaker, man.
Playmaker.
And also,
hawk,
you're running back,
it's a ball.
Albert Rosario, right? That dude was just, unfortunately, we didn't have his name for the broadcast, Mr. Rosario. I'm so sorry because I'm going to call you Mr. Rosario because you earned the Mr. title for me. Bro, you just keep running the ball like that. Yeah. I mean, that guy, where did you see this guy coming? How did you get this guy?
Just out, just doing your research, man, on these players. He's one of them that just popped up. And he was a all-arena guy last year in the IFL. I believe he was with Tulsa Oilers. So, if I had a chance to get that guy, I was going to do everything in my power to get him in the building. And we was blessed to get an opportunity to have him here to sign him. And the rest is history.
Looked like Marshawn Lynch on that one play. He threw some dude 5 feet and then crossed around the field. That was like that run against New Orleans.
He's really a receiver.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's a receiver. It just so happened that he's just an athlete.
He's an athlete. He wanted on the field, so you had to put him on the position where he could get on the field.
One of the things I really noticed last night, Joey, you told me this at the pre-production meeting on Wednesday. We were at the Coliseum. This is a violent sport. It is what it is, man. And we were out there where they were laying out the field. There's only Joey? How many would you say that? A few inches?
There's not much padding there. Yeah, between the concrete. I'm gonna say 3 inches.
And I saw some guys get rocked. And I'm up there in the middle. I'm on the field and I'm calling just the PA stuff. Touchdown, Colorado. Offsides, Vegas, whatever. And I'm watching this stuff, and these guys are getting rocked, man. This is a violent sport. Let's not forget about it. It is a violent sport. Coach, how's the injury report going into the next game against the Idaho Horsemen next Saturday? Give us how you guys are banged up a little bit. Are they? How are we feeling?
You're going in week 5, so you're going to be banged up a little bit. But I manage these guys that practice during the week, and
they get treatment.
Yeah, so when we get to the game, we'll be fresh. We'll be ready to go. It's no excuses. We only have one mission. I tell you, one mission, and that's to be at the end of the championship game, and just hosting it in Denver, Colorado.
Well, there's a reason the game is in Denver, and that is because the Spartans will be there. All right, last thing for me and for Alex, next week, Idaho comes into town, and I will say that these guys are going to mean business too. I mean, the one thing I can always say is I think it's harder coming off a victory sometimes than coming off a loss. Coming off a loss, I see everybody focused. There's a bad taste in your mouth. You got aggression. You want to get rid of it. You're better. Coming off a win, you were at home. Everybody's happy.
Everybody's reading their headlines.
Everybody's reading your press clippings. And this is where that's why you were acting like that. That's why you were acting like that at the end of the game.
Exactly.
You want to see these dudes can handle success.
Exactly. We thank Las Vegas for coming and giving us a show, but that's not the goal. That's not the goal.
Right.
We have a goal that's higher than that, and the thing about Idaho, those guys are playing good football right now.
Yeah.
So those guys are 2-2. We're 2-2. So
it's gonna be a bloodbath. I think it's gonna be a war out there.
I think that we beat those guys 3 times last year. We beat them last year 3 times in the regular season. Yep. So those guys have something, out for us right now.
Yep. They got something to prove.
But it's no doubt it's no doubt that this game is over from Las Vegas and we'll be ready.
I like it, man.
Let me ask you, last one for me,
Last
and then
one.
we'll be done. Do you think the Colorado Spartans have a bullseye on them because of all the marketing, the amount of sponsorship, and the amount of our social media,
Right.
our teams? You guys look like
It's a big production.
it's big production.
Yes.
So do you think other teams look at that and go, man, we're about to go against this conglomerate arena team that has all this money, all these players, and the largest arena? And I've asked you that before too, Coach.
Yeah.
You said that the Coliseum is the largest arena in all the arena NAL leagues. What kind of added pressure does that add to you when you're coaching a team after they just demolished the Las Vegas Kings?
Right.
You got to humble these guys a little bit, right?
Yeah, but you can control the controllable is what I say.
Yeah.
We can't control any of that stuff. Worried about, what these guys think about the organization and this and that. We come to play football and not come to coach, and we'll just do just that. And we're trying to win one game at a time.
I love
Well, the next one on the schedule, we expect everybody out there at the Denver Coliseum next Saturday night. Same start time, right? 7 p.m. And you can, if you can't make it out, catch myself and Nick Arch on the call on the NAL YouTube channel. But I'll tell you what, there's no experience like being there live. Come join my partner, Alex Ramirez. Get in the crowd, get in the Suavecito zone, and catch Spartans fever. They're taking this thing all the way to the championship. Coach, good luck to you, man. We'll be out of practice this week. When we get back.
And we'll see you next Sunday after you guys beat.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And
Here
we'll be
in the same spot.
By the way, 2 Sundays from now, first Avalanche or Denver Nuggets playoff game. It will be the first big event here for the final word. We'll have Audi Denver out here, Coach Tony Thompson out here, Coach Shaw. We'd like to get some cheerleaders out here. We are going to do it up 2 weeks from now. Yeah, Alex will, my partner and the social media wizard that he is, he'll have an event created in about 10 days. I want everyone out here.
Hey,
We're gonna
big shout out to the
place,
Spartans dance team too, man.
Yeah, definitely.
They brought the
Great
heat
job.
last night.
They
man.
did. They did a great job as well. Kudos to all of them, man.
Yep.
Great production. 69-18. Your Colorado Spartans victorious. And again, we'll see you next week, each and every Sunday, the Coach Fred Shaw Show at 12:25 here from number 38. All right, when we get back, another champion. And this man's not just champion in football. He is champion in the world of tequila. He is the Super Bowl champion, the owner, founder, and maker of Suavecito Tequila, the great Bill Foss, the Blanco, the Reposado, the Cristalino, the Anejo, the Extra Anejo, and my favorite, personal, the single barrel Anejo. Look for the red label in the stores. There's a bottle in my home right now, and it's not touchable.
You can also start your car. You can also start your car with that
stuff too. Hey, Bill Foss coming up next when you return to the final word here on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
I played with arguably the best corner to ever lace him up in Champ Bailey. And guess what? He too was victimized by certain plays, but he never gave up. And that's what I see in PS2, right? The idea of never giving up. Yes, you may get beat, but he is a complete corner.
Coach Fred.
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for 3 main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000-foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with Highlands agave, and it's superior to Lowlands agave. Number 2, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat, makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
My name is Anthony Maher, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
This is madness!
Spartans! What is your profession?
This is blasphemy! This is madness! Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender. This is Sparta!
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000 foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave. Okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave, and it's superior to lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
All right, Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez. We are back at the final word. Nuggets, Rockets counting down here about 45 minutes from now. Get ready to go live from Houston. And I'll tell you what, it is a big game for the Denver Nuggets. We're now joined by a guy who makes every game a big game, and that's simply by showing up. And that is the great Bill Foss, owner, founder, and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Of course, the Blanco, the Reposado, the Cristalino, the Añejo, the Extra Añejo, and the sixth man of the year right there, the Red Label Single Barrel Añejo 106 proof, 53% alcohol, and you can taste every bit of it. I got to sample a little bit out with your son, Jeff, last week here. And I'm going to say this. Everybody said, oh, it's strong. And you and I looked at each other like, we'll have another. It was great. And I think that that might tell me I've been around a tequila guy for a long time, because I couldn't even have a sip of any of it, before I met you. And two, it tells me how much I love Suavecito tequila. Can you talk about, we talked so much about the other 5. Let's give a little attention to this single barrel Añejo. I know you didn't really want to bring everything out until you had everything on the full release and everything, but man, it's just so delicious. What went into the thinking here? Because the tequila needed a little more bite. I always heard, it's kind of a sweet tequila. This one, it's got the bite, the real bite, and I think that's the diversity of all 6 of your brands now.
Oh, without a doubt. I've had countless liquor store owners ask me or tell me that they have whiskeys and bourbons that do single barrel specials once or twice a year, where they're at 90 or 100 or 110% alcohol. And couldn't Suavecito do that? They say, Suavecito is the best tequila we've ever tasted. Could you do some single barrel for us? And so because we've been asked by so many liquor store owners, that's why we developed it. We hope to launch in June. But it's only going to be a short period of time.
Sure.
Because it's only single barrel. It's not full production. But we're going to do it once a year or maybe twice a year if people really, really like it. But it is fabulous.
And you are listening to Bill Foss, the owner and founder of Suavecito Tequila. And before we go forward, we got to dive back to last night's game. And I'll get into all your tequila here in a minute. Bill, what an amazing home opener at the Denver Coliseum last night. Jeff, his family, all your grandchildren, your wife, everybody was out there. Talk about last night's performance. And really, we had a Suavecito zone. Not everybody knows. So when you go to the games, Bill's got a section reserved for the south end zone. And it's awesome to see how Bill interacts with his fans. I saw, at least 10 times, individual people would come up and say, hey, Bill, I love your tequila. I've been buying your tequila for such a long time. Bill, how does that make you feel when you got fans coming up to you and talking about your tequila? It's got to be something that I can't even understand how that would even work for me.
Yeah, no, it obviously does make me feel very good, very proud. But we've been selling Suavecito now for 14 years, and I hear it a lot because, as you guys well know, tequila experts around the United States all rank Suavecito as the #1 best tasting tequila sold in America. So there's no surprise to me when strangers come up to me and say, Bill, I just had some Suavecito, the best tequila I've ever had. Well, yeah. And if you haven't had any and you're listening to this show, I would strongly recommend you go get yourself some Suavecito tequila. It'll really make you happy.
Well, let me just say this. Hold on. Yeah, real quick. The Nuggets game coming up here in about 30, 45 minutes. I used to watch these games alone, but I don't now. I have my new best friend, Suavecito, watch it with me. And what's great is every time the game gets close and there's a free throw or something, I'm like, all right, everybody stop. Get your shot glass out right now. You have to take a shot, or somehow I think if I don't have a shot of Suavecito, they miss. And you know what's great is every time you have been out at a bar with me and we've sampled and we've put Suavecito on display, there's usually been a Nuggets or an Avalanche game, and I don't know how, but this man walks in the room and the game automatically goes into overtime or some miracle shot happens. You remember the Jamal Murray shot we shared together last year at Play Ball Sports? That place went nuts, and I think Bill's tequila, he gave away a bottle of the tequila, and the guy literally took the bottle. A Lakers fan, after that heartbreaking loss, and this is how much Suavecito brings people together, was distributing shots of Suavecito to Nuggets fans instead of a fist fight erupting. It basically was a love fest, a freak fest. Everybody started getting out on the dance floor, getting a little weird. It was like one of the coolest things. That's what Suavecito does, though, right? I loved it.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. I'll go ahead, Bill. I'm going to let you answer that.
That's what Suavecito does. It's a great time for everybody.
Of course. Just people are surprised. I've seen thousands of people's eyes light up when they say, oh my God, that is smooth. Oh my God, that is the best tequila I've ever had in my life. I hear it all the time, and all your listeners would be remiss not to be saying the same thing.
Well, Bill, last night you stood up and stand out last night. And Anthony Maher from Game Time PDR, you'll attest to that, right?
He'll be coming up next.
You saw he'll be coming up next year in a minute. But last night's game really reemphasized the popularity of Suavecito tequila and how many fans really actually drink it. And I love it because it stands on its own merit. We're not selling you something here that you don't like. We're selling you something here that you're going to enjoy. It's going to be a vibration that you're going to enjoy, whether it's at Christmas time, whether it's this afternoon watching the Masters, finishing up the Masters,
sure,
whether you're watching Game 7 of the Denver Nuggets or the Broncos AFC Championship game. Everything tastes much better when Suavecito is there, and businesses get better with the team sports. And I've always bring it up every time we have you on the show. When the teams get better, restaurants get better, hospitality gets better, libations get better, food gets better, and most importantly, Suavecito gets better because people want to celebrate with your brand. Bill, you are part of the, I guess you want to call it the Matrix, but I love it. I love it. I love it. And can you elaborate on how important the sports scene is important to Suavecito in Colorado?
There's not a sports fan around, especially the ones that are listening to your show, that don't have a beer, have some whiskey, have something when they're watching a football game, a basketball game, a pro game. It's just human nature. But if they have Suavecito, now it's just that much better. It takes the whole game to another level up.
Well, I'm going to say this. It's leveled up a lot of things. Even my marriage is better with Suavecito because my wife likes it. And I think it's great that you can share a drink with your lady that both people actually love. I drink it neat. She has it in margarita. But then I've also gotten her now into the Cristalino, and she'll drink that neat. Okay. And what's nice is we'll sit out on our back porch and we'll get out a bottle of Suavecito. We'll start watching a movie or whatever later on. But on the porch, there's nothing like it. You sit back, and I've sat with you on your balcony.
And
listen, the end game's a little bit tricky. I mean, we got to get a twister board and stuff for that. But anyway, coming off the top rope and everything for that. But Anthony Maher, he knows what I'm talking about. He's got that elbow drop. Yeah, brother. Yeah, that elbow drop's a killer. Anyway, all I got to say is, Bill, I want to thank you because you really have made relationships better for me. I brought Suavecito into so many homes, including my own. And it's great whether everyone I do, it just breeds a lot of love for me and my family. And I think it's because it tastes so good for one. Alcohol is not always designed to taste good. It's designed to get you messed up, whatever, but not this. This alcohol literally is the best tasting alcohol. I think that's one of the prides is how good your tequila tastes and the recipe. It's all in the recipe.
It is. It's all in the recipe. And I've given the recipe, the basics on your show before, because there's three key things that I do differently than all other tequilas. And it's those three things that make us unique, like no other tequila.
Whether it's the Blanco, the Reposado. And by the way, Alex, you need a little help. You tried to run down the lineup yesterday during the interview. Joey. And I don't think
I think I did a good job.
It is no, it was that you called it the extra Reposado. But anyway, it was okay. It is the Blanco, the Reposado, the Cristalino Reposado, the Añejo, and the extra Añejo. And of course, my new favorite right here, the sixth man of the year, the single barrel Añejo.
Be careful with that.
Look for that in June.
You gotta be careful.
If you want a great summer, this is your ticket to a great summer. And hey, if you're single, this is your ticket to a hot chick. Definitely.
Joe, you and I are not allowed to give dating advice.
We are.
Joe, you and I are. Joe, are we're good.
Hey, but listen, my wife thinks I'm a lot better looking on Suavecito. If your
restaurant does not have Suavecito,
you demand it.
If your liquor store down the street does not have it,
you demand it.
If your watering hole down the street doesn't have it,
you demand it.
That's it, Bill Foss.
If I'm at somebody's house and they don't have it, I will demand it.
Now you can do that too as well.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much get it all at Total Wine Liquors, which is a very large client of yours that carries it throughout the United States. Bill, talk about your relationship with Total Wine real quick.
Well, Total Wine, 26 liquor stores in California. We talked 3 years ago. We talked them into doing a floor display with our extra añejo.
Those 26 stores in California sold 3,000 bottles of Suavecito Extra Añejo in 3 weeks and ordered 3,000 more bottles.
Wow.
Their headquarters in Maryland, Total Wine is headquartered in Maryland. The next month, their accountants were doing the monthly accounting for the stores. And the guy doing California said, what the heck happened in California? his boss got on the phone and called all 26 store managers. All 26 store managers said the exact same thing. Hey, Suavecito is the best tequila we have ever sold. Our customers love it. Don't run out of it. The very next day, I got a phone call from Maryland asking me if Suavecito would go national with Total Wine and More.
And here we are today.
Wow.
On April 13th, 2025, Palm Sunday, by the way, everybody.
Yep.
Joey, I remember real quick, this is the last one for me, when Bill sponsored us to go to the Super Bowl last year in Las Vegas.
One of the best memories of my life.
One of the best weeks of my life. We were at the Luxor. We actually stayed at the same hotel with Bill and B, his wife. And we were out there for a week. We were out there for 5 nights for Media Week for the Super Bowl for Mile High Sports. And I remember when we left on that Friday, Joey, Bill stayed like another week, man, because he had obligations with the Las Vegas liquor stores. I think the Total Wine out there, right?
All the Total Wines, yep.
And I remember after we got back, it was 3 days, and I remember watching this picture. They built like an Egyptian creation of tequila boxes with all the tequila.
Looked like an
there.
altar of boxes.
And it looked like they were waiting for you for like a couple weeks to say, hey, now he's here. He's finally here. The Messiah is here. And it was awesome, Bill, to see that. You're all over the place. And I'm going to say also a big thanks to Jeff Foss. He's your second-hand man in command. You guys have done an amazing job. And I'm really proud about last night. Last night, really, you gave away the offensive and defensive MVP bottles to the players, and it was just one of those things that has
brought back old times.
It really did.
Colorado Blizzard
it really
days.
did.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just want you to know, Bill, we are super excited to continue our relationship with you as a man, as a friend, as a mentor. We love you, brother. We are not here without you. And
there's no final word.
And I know Tony Thompson called me on Thursday and told me that on Friday morning you guys were going over to Fox 31 to record a spot. And you were there, Bill.
Well, of course.
And he wanted to bring you to make sure that.
Well, he didn't want to bring me. Just so you guys got this straight.
Yeah.
That's my marketing company.
That's right. That's right.
That set these up, and we invited Tony.
Okay, there we go. I didn't know that, Bill. Now we
real
know.
Quick,
See?
guys, I'm always the voice of reason. We got to wrap it up. I'm showing you a picture right now of the guy with the mohawk with the Suavecito tequila. I'm going to send this. This will be up on
Mohawk.
our Bob Mohawk.
Bob Mohawk.
Let me tell you, man, this guy was great. He had a Spartans mohawk. I think this might be one of the coolest ones I've seen.
I interviewed him.
The
last night,
Suavecito
Joe,
tequila
on the
one.
Jumbotron.
Hey, we got to wrap it up, Billy. All I have to say is please go into any Total Wine and Beverage or any liquor store and listen. If you don't know how to do it, just go right on to suavecitotequila.com
Or the final word.
suavecitotequila.com and just type in your zip code. Whatever the zip code is, they'll bring up the nearest liquor store that carries Suavecito. I've done it many times when I'm like up in Anthony's neighborhood or different people's neighborhood. I'm like, I need Suavecito to go to Maher's house. I'm definitely not coming empty-handed. And one thing is, you want to be well received at somebody's house. Bring a bottle of Suavecito
That'll do it
tequila.
every time.
They will invite you back forever. Billy, we love you. And look, man, 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a big party out here. We look forward to having Suavecito tequila right here at number 38. Come out and see us. And when you return to the final word, we'll wrap it up with our good friend Anthony Maher from Game Time PDR. Tell you what, man, this guy was out there last night. He was an animal. He had his daughter out there, dropped her off, played super dad, and then looks like he might have some fun afterwards.
Said he lost his voice. How the hell did he lose his voice?
Hey, you're
I was on the
get it
PA
back
for
He's
7
back.
hours.
He's back. All right, when we get back, man, Anthony Maher will turn to wrap it up when you return to the final word with Joe Rico and Alex Ramirez on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for 3 main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000-foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes, they never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave, and it's superior to lowlands agave. Number 2, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
My name is Anthony Maher, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
My name is Anthony Maher, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
Spartans! What is your profession? Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender. This is Sparta!
All right, Denver, Colorado, we are back. Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez. We are back to wrap it up at the final word here on the Mile High Sports YouTube page. Our thanks go out to Coach Fred Shaw and the incomparable Bill Foss from Suavecito Tequila. I'll tell you what, man. I mean, these are the kind of people that we love talking to, and that goes for our next guest as well, Anthony Maher from Game Time PDR. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, man, he is the MVP in dent repair. Yep. Great commercial. You have a whole new shop now. You were talking to me a little bit about it, man. I was taking out some of the new, I mean, you talk about moving up in the world. Tell everybody about the great new facilities for Game Time PDR, and congratulations, man. That just blew the new location away.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Where
sir.
are you located at now?
So basically, it's just north of Commerce City, just south of Northfield, the mall, and stuff like that. We'll go with the address a little later.
Sure,
no
problem.
Stuff. The original headquarters of Game Time PDR is off of 36 and I-25. It was 3 total bays, 2 working bays, and then 1 bay for me to do what I have to do. This new one probably can hold without working about 40 to 50 cars inside. So we'll have probably 6 to 8 bays go.
That's gonna be insane, man. I saw that you have so much more area. And Alex, you know what, man? It couldn't happen to a better person, man. We love Anthony Maher.
We love Anthony Maher, man. He's been with us for I want to say about a year now.
Yep.
And before that, he's also has some other business endeavors that he's
also been in radio too with our good friend Ryan Garcia.
That's right.
Shout out Ryan Garcia.
He's actually the MVP in dent repair, auto hair repair. No wait for repairs. Get scheduled today. That's Game Time PDR. Before we jump into all of that stuff, you are also a proud sponsor of last night's Colorado Spartans game. You had a suite in the VIP zone.
Yes,
you took care of all the Mile High Sports staff. You guys had a good time. You brought your daughter out there.
Great time.
You said you lost your voice a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know how you lost your voice, man. I lost my. I was on
He
the
was screaming, man.
I was a PA announcer for almost 6 hours, and I still have a voice. But hey, listen, forget about it. Move on forward. Let's talk about last night's performance. The Colorado Spartans put a whooping on the Las Vegas Kings. What'd you think of the game? What'd you think of the home crowd? How'd you like it, man? It was pretty cool, right?
I liked it. Good energy, high vibrations. Everybody was into it. The field looked awesome. With all the logos on the walls.
Yeah.
And them Colorado Spartans did their thing last night.
Well, let me just say this. The Spartans were part of the show, and then what I also liked was the actual show around the game.
Yeah.
You had the kids coming out to do the gritty after the touchdown. I thought that was a cool touch. You had the Suavecito zone going with our good friend Bill Foss. I wanted to go down to that place a few times and slam a few shots. I could not do it. Obviously, I was in the broadcast.
Just to correct you, Joe, I want to make sure because people do listen to the show.
Yeah.
Bill did not open up.
So there were no alcohols being served. Well, I still wanted to go down.
Even though it was a Suavecito zone.
Okay.
He had his bottles, but we could not. I mean,
okay. I didn't know. I'm sorry about that.
So there was none of that. But there were tequila shots in the area where people could buy food and things like that.
Okay. All right. Great.
Yeah, but to move forward with that, I want to make sure that we are on the up.
Yeah,
and up.
absolutely.
We want to make sure we're not talking about something we can't
for sure
represent. Anthony, I want to say something to you real quick. First of all, you and I have been buddies, and Joey and I. But before Joey and you and I connected, and I just want to tell you, man, I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of what you've done. You're a single father, and you are a hustler. You are a hustler.
Yeah.
You make sure that your family's taken care of, but you also want to make sure that the Game Time PDR customers get taken care of.
100%.
If someone were to file a claim with you today, you guys take care of the deductible. You guys take care of their transportation, whether it's a rental car. You bring it back to the shop, right?
Yes.
And then you guys obviously don't want to have a car out there for a few days with the rental fee. So what you guys do is you guys want to make sure it gets expedited, and you guys have some of the most latest technology about pinpointing with those lights that you have. Talk about that lights system because that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, these LEDs. Well, just kind of backtrack. We do everything from top to bottom, make sure that it's inconvenient as possible to the customer. Now, as far as the lights are concerned, we just got the special LED lights that these technicians use, and literally what these guys do is an art. Like if you look at the angles and how they have the lights set up, they're literally massaging each dent one by one back to factory standards. It's
whether it's on the bottom, whether it's on the bottom of the hood or the side of the car. Yep. You guys find it.
Yeah, we have to. Like the goal is
kind of
to
crazy
behind it and massage it.
Yeah.
Well, you see the commercial you did, and I thought it was cool, the different angles. But obviously this is a sports show as well. So the Nuggets definitely a big game today. And you're a big fan of all the teams.
Huge.
You've been at all the games. You know, there's a franchise here you don't know about, at least 4 major ones. I know that, you know your way around the world of sports.
Yes,
but, you know, the Nuggets fired their coach about a week ago, and in a move that was very upsetting to many fans. You know, Mike Malone had been endeared. I think he was part of the community. And Alex even went as far as saying maybe, you know, he might have been done a little dirty. I'm not going to go as far as that because these guys make $40-50 million in their career. There's nothing dirty about it. They know they're going to get fired, but it was an odd way timing. Your thoughts on what do you think they were trying to accomplish by firing the coach with the 3 games left in the season?
I have no idea. I mean, I just know there's just a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that obviously the media isn't.
A lot of dirt's coming out.
Exactly. And so everybody's just getting exposed. And they said before everything does get exposed, they've got to get rid of something. So I'm curious to see how.
I think there's more that's going to come out, don't you?
100%,
I think there's something behind all this.
Sure.
Yeah, I heard Jamal Murray was up for trade. I heard a bunch of people were all, you know, got their feelings butthurt. And all of a sudden, you know, Calvin Booth and Mike Malone both kept crying to the owner, no, it's his fault. No, it's his fault. No, it's his fault. And finally, the owner said, guess what? It's both your fault. Both of you get your ass out. Would you agree with that?
Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a he said, she said. Alex, I'm going to ask you, man. You and I have been covering games. We covered over 200 games together for the Denver Nuggets between 2012 and 2019. You know, you've asked questions, Kobe Bryant. We've asked questions, Steph Curry, LeBron James. I think Mike Malone, we wouldn't call him a friend, but he was certainly part of the team that was he was good to us. So I don't want to sit and bash Mike Malone, but you got to admit, man, it's a results-oriented business. And Josh came out, and Josh Kroenke said we were going to fire him at the end of the year anyway, so we might as well do it now. That's a big statement. When you say this, that means he was gone. When you tell somebody you're going to fire somebody, but I think that they should have given him the opportunity to change their mind in the playoffs.
I think they should have given him the last 3 games to say at least, hey, all right, it's not going to work out. Let's finish it off. But I also understand from the Kroenke standpoint, with that kind of talent and that kind of momentum, and you're a 4th seed in the playoffs, give him a chance to finish it out. Give him a chance to finish it out because guess what? It's not going to hurt anything if he's going to get fired anyway. Calvin Booth situation, he could have been released. I mean, he could have been fired regardless because he was for a contract extension. So it wasn't like he was going to go anywhere. So just let him hang out in the building. Let him have his office because you're going to get clipped regardless. I think the only way that both of those guys would have been retained for another year if they won another NBA championship. And even then, they could have still been let go because of the discomfort in the organization. But listen, it's okay. One of the things I want to say, and I spoke a little emotional when I first heard the news about Mike Malone's, and I said it was disrespectful. And it's kind of like the Anthony, for example. Let's say you're married 10 years, man. And then you get it. I'm just saying, let's just say you and I.
He's not going to be married 10 years.
How about this? How about Joe Rico? Joe's Rico for 50 years. All right.
Yeah.
And his wife says, you know what? And she sends him a text. I'm going to divorce you. And Joe's like, whoa, what? How does that work? You know, you have, I mean, there's no explanation for that. And that sucks. And he's going to come back when he coaches another team, and he's going to get celebrated as he should. His name should be lifted in the rafters, Mike Malone, because he brought the first championship to the Denver Nuggets organization in 2023. But I also saw something this morning. Everywhere Russell Westbrook goes to, coaches get fired. I mean, that's a fact. Look at his track record, man.
I mean, when you look at Russell Westbrook right now, the number one thing I can say about him is he was a better teammate here so far than he was in these other places. And if you look at the way that the players feel about Russell Westbrook on this team, man, they're not in any way doing anything but just loving playing with the guy. I mean, Russell Westbrook is a Hall of Famer, the all-time leader in triple doubles, an MVP. You know, I mean, is he the same guy? Of course not. But I'm going to tell you, man, I love it when the Nuggets are down like this. I love it when people don't expect.
Has been awakened, Joe.
Well, people just don't expect anything of them now. There's no expectations, and I love that when you're playing a game, whether that's you, me, the Joker, when you have no expectations and everybody has already counted you out. I think that's when most people get a big chip on their shoulder and say, "You want to count me out? I'll show you what the hell I can do." So I will say this: I believe Nikola Jokic will come out and play lights out. My fear is they don't have any guys like Anthony Maher and me and you who really would be pissed. They have a bunch of guys who make so much money. I don't even know if they give a crap. And the way you watch Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. play sometimes, it flat out looks like they could care less.
Right, Joey?
If they could care less whether that game is won. And you compare that to Jokic, who comes out with scratches, claws, sweat, blood. I mean, it's two different things. And my fear is the Joker will get sick of it and want to go somewhere else. The Joker will fire me. You already fired the only coach he ever has played for. Right. Now you got a couple lazy bums. How interested is he going to be in this rebuild? How much will he have to say? I mean, like you said, he had a clipboard 2 nights ago. That wasn't by accident. That's interesting. Mike Malone never would have allowed that. He would never have given Joker the clipboard. I think that is the direction.
And another thing to your point, Joe,
is kind of moving.
David Adelman was the guy who was actually calling the plays for the Nuggets.
Right? Yeah.
The only time that Mike Malone stepped in would have been when there was a panic timeout or something that was happening detrimental to the team. But at the end of the day, David Adelman was the coach. He was running the X's and O's. But it all starts from the top. It all starts from the top from Game Time PDR as well.
Yes, sir.
Game Time PDR, when you have a leadership group on top, like Anthony Maher does at his organization, you're going to expect results. And everything else goes to the wayside. So if someone goes to you, they're expecting results. And they want Game Time MVP results when their vehicle is, if they have an Audi, or it doesn't matter what kind of car you have, Infiniti, Chevy, Ford. If you have dents in your vehicle, Anthony is your guy to straighten them out. Talk about the process real quick. When someone checks in, calls you, hey man, I got some hail dent. What do they do?
Sure. We can either come to their location, home or
business,
or they can bring it to the shop. We get it under the lights right away, just to get eyes on it. Pictures don't do it so much justice. There's too many factors whenever we're looking at actual dents. And then once we get it in, take a look at it, get a quick estimate, start working with the insurance.
And
right
it's
away.
not an insurance claim. This is something that the insurance wants to protect the vehicle because they're protecting the vehicle. So it's not like you got in an accident where you're saying, hey, man, I got a fender bender. Right. That's a claim. Right. This is something to improve the property or the value of the vehicle that is being insured by the car. So they're going to say, yeah. So it's not a ding on your insurance claim, right?
Correct. Yes. It's a comprehensive.
Act of Mother Nature.
Yeah, act of nature is what's considered. So it's not a no fault. It's nothing collision.
So I bring my car in tomorrow. My car's got dents. I go, hey, Anthony, here you go, man. I got this new car. I got dents on my hood. I don't like it. Yep. It makes me feel sad. Anthony, I'm taking it to you. I need a car to go to work, man, because I don't have any transportation. Perfect. What do you do at that point?
Sure, I have an agreement with Enterprise.
Okay.
So actually, what we can do is go and bring the vehicle there. I'll give Enterprise a call. We'll get you over there, and you're mobile and
never pick you up at the house.
Yep. Okay, the house or my shop, wherever you want to go.
All right, man. Well, listen, right now, I want everybody to listen to Anthony real quick because we only got about a minute left. Please give everybody the address, or if you don't have the address, make sure you have the phone number for how to get a hold of you right now. Is this phone number is still good? The 303-955-8200. Look, before you go down and check out the new facilities, just give them a call, 303-955-8200. We'll put the address and all that on our Facebook page tomorrow afternoon. Perfect. Just so that we get everything correct. Anthony's he's been under the weather. The guy was up quite a bit with us last night.
He was under the weather last night.
He's under the weather this morning. He's under the weather this morning. He's under the weather this morning.
He came up to me and gave me a hug behind me. I was like, where you at?
Okay, can I wrap this show up, buddy? I appreciate it, man. All right, so here's what we're going to do, man. Before we leave, I want everybody's prediction on the Denver Nuggets game tonight. We will start with our producer, Nick Archer, in about 2 minutes. Nick, Nuggets, Rockets, must win for the Nuggets. Do the Nuggets get the job done today?
Yeah, they do. Houston's going to sit.
Okay, great. Anthony, Nuggets playing Houston Light. Cover. They take care of business.
Absolutely.
Alex, Nuggets playing Houston
nothing
Light.
to play for, Jim.
Right? And they're not playing anybody. Do the Nuggets take care of business today?
I mean, they should win with their G League team.
Hey, man, let me just say this. With the inconsistency of the Denver Nuggets this year, I refuse to predict anything, but I do think they win today. All right, that is it for today, and what a great show it was. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Coach Fred Shaw, owner Tony Thompson, and every member of the winning, victorious Colorado Spartans team. Their home opener, the inaugural game of the Spartans in Denver, was a rousing success, a 69-18 beatdown of the Las Vegas Kings. Amazing job. Bill Foss from Suavecito. If they don't have it in your liquor store,
you demand it.
If they don't have it at your watering hole,
you demand
at
it.
the hotel.
Well, get more than that. Get
That's
demand
right.
that too.
That's
if you
right. Yeah,
want.
you definitely need to demand it, no matter where you're at. If they don't have Suavecito, demand it. And of course, we wrapped it up with our great friend Anthony Maher from Game Time PDR, the best in the business for paint and dent repair. Look, man, it's hail damage. You don't want it. It depreciates your property. Give him a call, 303-955-8200. He is the best in the business. For myself and my partner, Alex Ramirez, you make this show, Denver, Colorado. We love you, and we'll see you next Sunday.